You're doing everything. You're checking all the boxes, running the errands, juggling the work, the kids, the laundry, the texts, the emails, and you're not sitting still, like ever. And yet, you still feel like you're drowning. That low hum of anxiety, it's there before your feet hit the floor. And that weight in your chest, it follows you through the day. And when your head finally hits the pillow, it whispers, "You didn't do enough." If that's you, you're not alone. And listen carefully. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not failing. You are overwhelmed. You're overextended. And you're likely multitasking your way into burnout. If you're feeling this way right now, if you're shaking your head in agreement, I want you to hear me tell you, and that's okay. Welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast where we explore the ups and downs of life and remind ourselves that whatever we're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and a passionate believer that every feeling matters and every step forward counts. Each week, we'll dive into real-life challenges, share relatable experiences, and offer actionable steps to help you navigate through it all. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that I am not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm here to share experiences and insights that have worked for me and others like me. Let's be real for a second. You don't even remember what it feels like to have a fully quiet moment. You can't enjoy rest because your mind keeps chasing tasks. And when you finally get alone time, you just scroll through your phone because you're too tired to do anything else. It's like you're swimming in to-do lists, holding your breath, hoping the current slows down, but it doesn't. Let's name it what it is. It's emotional drowning. Underneath all that action is the feeling that you're not doing enough. You're carrying the pressure to do it all, the guilt of dropping even just one ball, the anxiety of forgetting to do something, and the exhaustion of never feeling caught up. And even though you're exhausted, your brain says, just keep going, because maybe, just maybe, if you hustle a little harder, that anxious feeling will go away. But it doesn't. That's the trap. Let's look at some real numbers. Studies show that only 2.5% of people can actually multitask effectively. That stat is based on research out of Stanford University, and it basically means that almost everyone thinks they're great at multitasking, but they're not. That 2.5%, they're considered supertaskers, people whose cognitive ability allows them to handle multiple complex tasks simultaneously without performance drop-off. But the other 97.5% of us, multitasking leads to more errors, slower completion rates, and lower quality of work. Even though we feel busy, our brains are just switching rapidly between tasks, and that constant switching comes at a cost. You might feel like you're working all the time, but your brain is overwhelmed and under-rewarded. This mismatch leads to feelings of failure, frustration, and burnout, even when you're technically being productive. Here's another stat for you. Task switching decreases productivity by up to 40%. 40%, that's a huge number. Every time you switch from one task to another, your brain has to reorient itself. This includes memory recall, decision-making recalibration, and shifting attention, all of which costs energy. That 40% drop-off in productivity, That's like working a 10-hour day and only getting 6 hours of real work done. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is wired to focus on one thing at a time. For example, if you're writing an email, then a notification pops up. You check it, maybe reply, and then go back to your email. But now you've lost that train of thought, and it takes extra time to get back into the zone. So it's not about working harder. It's about protecting your focus like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Here's another one for you. It can take your brain 15 to 25 minutes to regain focus after being interrupted or switching tasks. This stat is from the University of California Irving study, and it's startling. So every time you get distracted, whether by your phone, a notification, a thought, a child yelling, "Mom," your brain doesn't just snap back into gear. It takes up to 25 minutes to fully return to your original level of focus. That's like trying to jog a mile, but every 100 feet someone pulls you aside for a chat. You'll never hit a stride. You may feel like you're on all day, but you're never quite fully accomplished. And this leads to emotional exhaustion because your brain never gets the satisfaction of finishing something fully and cleanly. So if you've ever wondered why you feel so tired at the end of a day bouncing from one thing to another, it's because your brain has been in a near constant restart cycle all day long. So while we feel busy, we're not being truly productive. We're constantly shifting gears mentally, emotionally, and physically. No wonder we feel scattered and anxious. Multitasking isn't saving us, it's draining us. And we've confused movement with progress. So why do we multitask? Why do we run ourselves ragged? Here's what's really underneath it all. Control. If I do it all, I can keep everything from falling apart. Or maybe it's fear. If I slow down, maybe I won't matter, or maybe they'll stop needing me. Perhaps it's perfectionism. If I'm not always productive, I'm not going to be good enough. Or maybe it's validation. If I show up everywhere for everyone, maybe I'll finally feel seen. If any of that hits home, just breathe. Because now we see it. Now we can understand it. And when we can name it, we can begin to shift it. So of course, I have some action steps for you. I have 5 actually. 1, the power of the pause. Set a 90-second timer. That's a minute and a half. And I want you to set this timer 3 times a day. When this timer goes off, I want you to close your eyes, breathe deeply, in your nose, out your mouth, and ask, what do I need right now? Not on the to-do list, you. Start reconnecting with your own internal voice, because this creates a moment of internal check-in that helps you shift from autopilot to awareness. Even just noticing how you're feeling in that moment creates clarity. 2, single task the next task. And you may be going, what the heck are you talking about, girl? Pick one task today, just one, and give it your full attention. Fold towels without watching TV. Eat lunch without scrolling. Send that one email without switching tabs. And when you give your brain the gift of single tasking, it becomes easier to complete things faster and you feel more at peace. It gives your brain that reward of completing something. 3, clear the visual clutter. Spend 5 minutes clearing out just one space in your environment. Your desk, a kitchen counter, your purse, a drawer. Visual chaos adds to mental chaos. When your eyes can rest, your brain can breathe. This doesn't have to be a whole room, just a corner. And that makes you feel better when you see it. 4, list 3 things that you've completed. At the end of the day, write down 3 things you fully finished. Not what you started, not what's halfway done, not what's almost done, but what you completed. That list is proof that you're moving forward. We often focus so much on what's left undone that we forget to celebrate the progress that we have made. 5. The interrupt, recovery, reset. I love this one. So the next time you're interrupted, whether it's a text or a kid or a coworker or your own brain wandering and weaving around, don't try to jump right back in. Instead, take 20 seconds to reset. Sit up straight. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Close your eyes and say to yourself, I'm here, I'm safe, now let's go. Then glance at your last step or sentence and only focus on picking up that again. This creates a mental bookmark and it gives your brain a gentle on-ramp, if you will, back into focus instead of mentally spinning on where was I and what was I doing. If you're feeling overwhelmed, scattered, or like you're drowning, I need you to hear me. You are not doing it wrong. You are likely doing too much with too little support, too little pause, and way too much pressure. And if you're tired, that's not a flaw either. That is a signal. So let's recap our steps. Take 90-second breath breaks to pause and check in with yourself. Choose one task and give it your full attention. Clear one small physical space. Write down 3 things you completed today. And reset before returning to your task. They're small, they're doable, and they are powerful. Because sometimes the path back to peace isn't about doing more. It's about doing less with more intention. Listen to me. You are not here to earn your worth through productivity. You are not behind. You are not lazy. You are living in a world that praises burnout and rewards exhaustion. And you're trying your best inside of that world. You've been carrying so much for so long. And you didn't wait for permission. You just kept showing up. But maybe now, it's time to come back to yourself, to breathe again, to release the lie that you have to do it all to be enough. Let's be brave enough to do things differently, to pause, to focus, to reclaim a little clarity and a little calm. And if today all you did was hear this message, that may be just enough for today. You are more than what you crossed off your list. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to reset. And you are allowed to stop treading water and start healing. Let's move forward together. One intentional breath at a time. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of And That's Okay. I hope you found our discussion insightful and that you're leaving with some practical steps to apply in your own life. Remember, no matter what you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from today's topic. Until next week, take care and keep moving forward, one feeling, one step at a time.